Hello, everyone. What's up, y'all? This is Mike J with World News Report, and thank you for joining us here for our next reading of the ancient Ethiopian Bible, one of the oldest books of scriptures known to man, including volumes long removed from the versions that we know of today, word for word, as it was written in the 3rd to 4th century AD. So any comments or questions are welcome. Just a quick recap in our last reading. We covered the staff that sprouted flowers overnight inside the tent of the ark. Wow. The Israelites being punished on several other occasions by God for grumbling about him again, including the 250 Levites swallowed up by the earth. There was an attack of biting snakes, in which the only cure was by Moses' bronze serpent. Aaron loses his position, and Moses almost loses his position after angrily doubting the Lord that he could actually get water from a rock. And also Balaath's donkey actually speaks out aloud after being beaten to avoid the invisible angel. What? My goodness. Okay, so let's continue with our journey in reading number 21. Numbers 25 through 36 to wrap up Numbers. Just a touch here. Okay. Numbers 25. While Israel was living at Shittim, the people degraded themselves by having illicit reactions with the Moabite women. These then invited the people to the sacrifices of their God, and the people ate of the sacrifices and worshipped their God. When Israel thus submitted the rites of Baal of Peor, the Lord's anger flared up against Israel, and he said to Moses, "Gather all the leaders of all the people and hold a public execution of the guilty ones before the Lord, that this blazing wrath may be turned away from Israel." So Moses told the Israelite judges, "Each of you shall kill those of his men who have submitted to the rites of Baal of Peor." Yet a certain Israelite came and brought a Midianite woman to his clansmen in the view of Moses and the whole Israelite community, while they were weeping at the entrance of the meeting tent. When Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, saw this, he left the assembly, and taking a lance in hand, followed the Israelite into his retreat, where he pierced the pair of them, the Israelite and the woman. Thus the slaughter of Israelites was checked, but only after 24,000 had died. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, had turned my anger from the Israelites by his zeal for my honor among them. That is why I did not put an end to the Israelites for the offenses to my honor. Announce therefore that I hereby shall give him my pledge of friendship, which shall be for him and his descendants after him the pledge of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous on behalf of his God, and thus made amends for the Israelites." The Israelite slain with the Midianite woman was Zimri, son of Salu, prince of an ancestral house of the Simeonites. The slain Midianite woman was Cosbi, daughter of Zur, who was head of a clan, an ancestral house in Midian. The Lord then said to Moses, "Treat the Midianites as enemies and crush them, for they have been your enemies by the way their wily dealings with you in regards to Peor, and as regards to their kinswoman Cosbi, the daughter of the Midianite prince, who was killed at the time of the slaughter because of Peor." After the slaughter. Numbers chapter 26. The Lord said to Moses and Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, take a census by ancestral houses throughout the community of the Israelites of all 20 years or more who are fit for military service in Israel. So on the plains of Moab, along the Jericho stretch of the Jordan, Moses and the priest Eleazar registered those of 20 years or more, as the Lord had commanded Moses. The Israelites who came out of the land of Egypt were as follows. Of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, the Reubenites by clans were, through Hanok, the clan of Hanochites, through Palu, the clan of Palulites, through Hezron, the clan of Hezronites, through Carmi, the clan of Carmites. These were the clans of the Reubenites, of whom 43,730 men were registered. From Palu descended Eliab, and the descendants of Eliab were Dathan and Abiram, the same Dathan and Abiram, counselors of the community who revolted against Moses and Aaron, like Korah's band when it rebelled against the Lord. The earth opened its mouth and swallowed them as a warning. Korah too, and the band that had died with the fire when the fire consumed the 250 men. The descendants of Korah, however, did not die out. The Simeonites by clans were through Nemuel, the clan of Nemuelites, through Jamin, the clan of Jaminites, through Jashan, the clan of Jashanites, through Zobar, clan of the Zoarites, through Shaul, the clan of the Shaulites. These were the clans of the Simeonites, of whom 22,200 men were registered. The Gadites by clans were, through Zephoron, the clan of Zephoronites, through Haggi, the clan of Haggaites, through Shuni, the clan of Shuniites, through Ozni, the clan of Oznianites, through Eri, the clan of Erites, through Ara, the clan of Aradites, through Arieli, the clan of Arlites. These were the clans of the Gadites, of whom 40,500 men were registered. The sons of Judah who died in the land of Canaan were and Onan. The Judahites by clans were through Shelah, the clan of the Shelahites, through Perez, the clan of the Perezites, through Zerah, the clan of the Zerahites. The Perizzites were through Hezron, the clan of the Hezronites, through Hamul, the clan of the Hamulites. These were the clans of Judah, of whom 676,500 men were registered. The Icharites by clans were through Tola, the clan of the Tolites, Puvah, the clan of the Puvahites, through Jashub, the clan of the Jashubites, through Shimron, the clan of the Shimronites. These were the clans of Issachar, of whom 64,300 men were registered. The Zebulunites by clans were through Sarid, the clan of the Saradites, through Elon, the clan of the Elonites, through Jahiel, clan of the Jahielites. These were the clans of the Zebulunites, of whom 60,500 men were registered. The sons of Joseph were Manasseh and Ephraim. The Manachites by clans were through Machir, the clan of the Machirites, through Gilead, the descendant of Machir, the clan of the Gileadites. The Gileadites were through Abiezer, the clan of the Abierzites, through Halak, clan of the Hekatites, through Azriel, clan of the Azrielites, through Shechem, clan of the Shechemites, through Hepher, the clan of the Hepherites. Zophahad, son of Hepher, had no sons, but only daughters, whose names were Mahala, Noah, Hoglah, Micah, and Tirzah. These were the clans of the Manasseh, of whom 52,700 men were registered. The Ephraimites by clans were through Shutliah, the clan of the Shuthielites, through Besher, the clan of the Besherites, through Tahan, the clan of the Tanahites. The Suthilites were through Eran, the clans of the Eranites. These were the clans of the Ephraimites, of whom 32,500 men were registered. These were the descendants of Joseph by clans. The Benjamites by clans were through Bela, the clan of the Belazites, through Ashbel, clan of the Ashbelites, through Ahiram, clan of the Ahiramites, through Supham, the clan of the Suphamites, through Hupham, clan of the Huphamites. The descendants of Bela were Ard and Naaman, through Ard, the clan of the Ardites, through Naaman, the clan of the Naamanites. These were the Benjaminites, by clans of whom 45,600 men were registered. The Danites by clans were through Shulam, the clan of the Shumamites. These were the clans of Dan, of whom 64,400 men were registered. The Asherites by clans were through Imnah, the clan of the Imnites, through Ishvi, the clan of the Ishvites, through Beret, the clan of the Beriites, through Heber, the clan of the Heberites, through Mashael, the clan of the Mashaelites. The name of Asher's daughter was Sarah. These were the clans of Asher, of whom 53,400 men were registered. The Naphtalites by clans were through Jaziel, the clan of the Jazielites, through Guni, the clan of the Gunites, through Jezer, the clan of the Jezerites, through Shilin, the clan of the Shilamites. These were the clans of Naphtali, of whom 45,400 men were registered. These 601,730 were the Israelites who registered. The Lord said to Moses, "Among these groups the land shall be divided, as their heritage in keeping with the number of individuals in each group. To a large group you shall assign a large heritage, to a small group a small heritage, each group receiving its heritage in proportion to the number of men registered in it. But the land shall be divided by lot, as the heritage of the various ancestral tribes. As the lot falls shall each group, large or small, shall be assigned to heritage. The Levites registered by clans were through Gershon, the clan of the Gershonites, through Kohath, the clan of the Kohathites, through Merari, the clan of the Merarites. These were the clans of the Levi, the clan of the Libnites, the clan of the Hebronites, the clan of the Malites, the clan of the Mushites, the clan of the Koharites. Among the descendants of Kohath was Amram, whose wife was named Jochebed. She also was of the tribe of Levi, born to the tribe in Egypt. To Amram she bore Aaron and Moses and their sister Miriam. Remember that? To Aaron born Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. But Nadab and Abihu died when they offered profane fire before the Lord. The total number of male Levites, 1 month or more of age, who were registered was 23,000. They were not registered with the other Israelites, however, for no heritage was given them among the Israelites. Thus then were the men registered by Moses and the priest of Eleazar in the census of the Israelites, taken on the plains of the Moab, along the Jericho stretch of the Jordan. Among them there was not a man of those who had not been registered by Moses and the priest of Aaron in the census of the Israelites, taken in the desert of Sinai. For the Lord had told them that they would surely die in the desert, and not one of them was left except Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, son of Nun. Wow. Numbers chapter 27. Damn it. Okay. Zephaliad, son of Hepher, son of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, son of Joseph, had daughters named Manlah, Noah, Hoglah, Miklah, Tirzah. They came forward, and standing with the presence of Moses, the priest Eleazar, the princes, and the whole community at the entrance of the meeting tent, said, Our father died in the desert. Although he did not join those who banded together against the Lord in Korah's band, he died for his own sin without leaving any sons. But why should our father's name be withdrawn from his clan merely because he had no son? Let us therefore have property among your father's kinsmen. When Moses laid their case before the Lord said to him, The plea of Zelophehad's daughters is just. You shall give them hereditary property among their father's kinsmen, letting their father's heritage pass on to them. Therefore, tell the Israelites, if a man dies without leaving a son, you shall let his heritage pass to his daughter. If he has no daughter, you shall give his heritage to his brothers. If he has no brothers, you shall give his heritage to his father's brothers. If his father had no brothers, you shall give his heritage to his nearest relative in his clan, who shall then take possession of it. This is the legal norm for the Israelites, as the Lord commanded Moses. The Lord said to Moses, Go up here into the Arabian mountains, which are interesting. I would look those up on Google Earth satellite view. See a lot of stuff. And view the land that I am giving to the Israelites. When you have viewed it, you too shall be taken to your people, as was your brother Aaron. Because in the rebellion of the community in the desert of Zin, you both rebelled against my order to manifest my sanctity toward them by means of the water. This is the water of Meribah of Kadesh in the desert of Zin. Then Moses said to the Lord, May the Lord, the God of the spirits of all mankind, set over the community a man who shall act as their leader in all things, to guide them in all their actions, and the Lord's community may not be like sheep without a shepherd. And the Lord replied to Moses, Take Joshua, son of Nun, a man of spirit, and lay your hand upon him. Have him stand in the presence of the priest of Eleazar and of the whole community, and commission him before their eyes, and vest with him some of your own dignity, as the whole Israelite community may obey him. He shall present himself to the priest Eleazar, to have him seek out for him the decisions of the Urim in the Lord's presence, as he directs Joshua. All the Israelites with him and the community as a whole shall perform all their actions. Moses did as the Lord had commanded him, taking Joshua and having him stand in the presence of the priest Eleazar and the whole community. He laid his hands upon him and gave him his commission, as the Lord had directed through Moses. And Numbers chapter 28. The Lord said to Moses, Give the Israelites this commandment. At the times I have appointed, you shall be careful to present me the food offerings that are offered to me as a sweet-smelling oblations. You shall tell them, therefore, This is the oblation which you shall offer the Lord, 2 unblemished yearling lambs each day as the established holocaust, offering 1 lamb in the morning and the other during the evening twilight, each with a cereal offering, and 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with a fourth of a hin of oil, crushed olives. This is the established holocaust that was offered at Mount Sinai for a sweet-smelling oblation to the Lord. And as the libation for the first lamb, you shall pour out to the Lord in the sanctuary a fourth of a hin of wine. The other lamb to be offered during the evening twilight you shall offer with the same cereal offering and the same libation as in the morning, as a sweet-smelling oblation to the Lord. On the Sabbath you shall offer 2 unblemished yearling lambs, with their cereal offerings, 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil, and with their libations. Each Sabbath there shall be the Sabbath holocaust in addition to the established holocaust and its libation. On the first of each month you shall offer the holocaust to the Lord 2 bullocks, 1 ram, and 7 unblemished yearling lambs, with 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as the cereal offerings for each bullock, 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as the cereal offering for the ram, and 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a cereal offering for each lamb, that the holocaust may be a sweet-smelling oblation to the Lord. Their libations shall be a half a hin of wine for each bullock, a third of a hin for the ram, and a fourth of a hin for each lamb. This is the new moon holocaust, for each new moon of the year. Moreover, 1 goat shall be sacrificed as a sin offering to the Lord. These are to be offered in addition to the established holocaust and its libation. On the 14th day of each month falls the Passover of the Lord, and on the 15th day of this month is the pilgrimage feast. For 7 days unleavened bread is to be eaten. On the first of these days he shall hold a sacred assembly, and do no sort of work. As an oblation you shall offer for a holocaust to the Lord, which shall consist of 2 bullocks, 1 ram, and 7 yearling lambs, that you are sure are unblemished, with their cereal offerings of fine flour mixed with oil, offering 3/10 of an ephah for each bullock, 2/10 for each ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. And offer 1 goat as a sin offering in atonement for yourselves. These offerings you shall make in addition to the established morning holocaust. You shall make exactly the same offerings each day for 7 days as food offerings, in addition to the established holocaust with its libation for a sweet-smelling oblation to the Lord. On the 7th day you shall hold a sacred assembly, and do no sort of work. On the day of the first fruits, on your feast of weeks, when you present to the Lord the new cereal offering, you shall hold a sacred assembly, and do no sort of work. You shall offer as a sweet-smelling holocaust to the Lord 2 bullocks, 1 ram, and 7 yearling lambs, that you are sure are unblemished, with their cereal offerings of fine flour mixed with oil, offering 3/10 of an ephah for each bullock, 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. Moreover, 1 goat shall be offered as a sin offering in atonement for yourselves. You shall make these offerings together with their libations, in addition to the established holocaust with its cereal offering. Wow, that's a lot of offerings. Numbers, number 29. The Lord said to Moses, on the first day of the 7th month you shall hold a sacred assembly, and do no sort of work. It shall be the day on which you sound the trumpet. You shall offer a sweet-smelling holocaust to the Lord, 1 bullock, 1 ram, and 7 unblemished yearling lambs, with their cereal offerings of fine flour mixed with oil, offering 3/10 of an ephah for each bullock, 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. Moreover, 1 goat shall be offered as a sin offering and atonement for yourselves. These are to be offered in addition to the ordinary new moon holocaust with its cereal offerings, and in addition to the established holocaust with its cereal offering, together with the libations prescribed for them as a sweet-smelling oblation to the Lord. On the 10th day of this 7th month you shall hold a sacred assembly and mortify yourselves, and do no sort of work. You shall offer as a sweet-smelling holocaust to the Lord 1 bullock, 1 ram, and 7 yearling lambs, that you are sure are unblemished, with their cereal offerings of fine flour mixed with oil, offering 3/10 of an ephah for the 1 bullock, 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. Moreover, 1 goat shall be sacrificed as a sin offering. These are to be offered in addition to the atonement sin offering, the established holocaust with its cereal offering, and their libations. On the 15th day of the 7th month you shall hold a sacred assembly and do no sort of work. Then, for 7 days following, you shall celebrate a pilgrimage feast to the Lord. You shall offer as a sweet-smelling holocaust to the Lord 13 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 yearling lambs that are unblemished, with their cereal offerings of fine flour mixed with oil, offering 3/10 of an ephah for each of the 13 bullocks, 2/10 for each of the 2 rams, and 1/10 for each of the 14 lambs. Moreover, 1 goat shall be sacrificed as a sin offering. These are to be offered in addition to the established holocaust with its cereal offering and libation. Well, that's kind of getting redundantly excessive. On the 2nd day, you shall offer 12 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 unblemished yearling rams with their cereal offerings. Okay, and then it goes on. Same thing. On the 3rd day, again, and on the 4th day, all the way up to 8 bullocks, 7 bullocks. Okay, up to the 8th day, yes. You shall offer a holocaust as a sweet-smelling oblation to the Lord, 1 bullock, 1 ram, and 7 unblemished yearling lambs. Besides whatever holocaust, cereal offerings, libations, and peace offerings you present as your votive or free will offerings as well. Moses then gave to the Israelites these instructions, just as the Lord had ordered him. Moses said to the heads of the Israelite tribes, "This is what the Lord had commanded. When a man makes a vow to the Lord or binds himself under oath with a pledge of abstinence, he shall not violate his word, but must fulfill exactly the promise he has uttered. When a woman, while still a maiden in her father's house, makes a vow to the Lord or binds herself to a pledge, if her father learns of her vow or the pledge to which he bound herself and says nothing to her about it, then any vow or any pledge she has made remains valid. But if on the day he learns of it her father expresses to her his disapproval, then any vow or any pledge she has made becomes null and void, and the Lord releases her from it, since her father has expressed to her his disapproval. If she marries while under a vow or is under a rash pledge to which she bound herself, and her husband learns of it, yet says nothing to her that day about it, then the vow or the pledge she has made remains valid. But if on the day he learns of it her husband expresses to her his disapproval, he thereby annuls the vow she has made or the rash pledge to which she has bound herself, and the Lord releases her from it. The vow of a widow or of a divorced woman or any pledge to which such a woman binds herself is valid. If it is in her husband's house that she makes a vow or binds herself under oath to a pledge, and her husband learns of it and yet says nothing to express to her his disapproval, then any vow or pledge she has made remains valid. But if on the day he learns of them her husband annuls them, then whatever she has expressly promised in her vow and her pledge becomes null and void. Since her husband has annulled them, the Lord releases her from them. Any vow or any pledge that she makes under oath to mortify herself, her husband can either allow to remain valid or render null and void. But if her husband day after day says nothing at all about them, he thereby allows as a valid any vow or any pledge, eyes are getting watery, she has made. Then he said nothing to her about it then. If, however, he countermands them some time after he first learned of them, he is responsible for her guilt. These are the statutes which the Lord prescribed through Moses concerning the relationship between a husband and his wife, as well as between a father and his daughter, while she is still a maiden in her father's house. Okay, I think that's going to wrap it up for now, folks. I think this is long enough. These chapters are a little bit longer than I thought. So with that said, this is Mike with World News Reports signing out, and we'll catch up with our next reading and finish up Numbers. Again, please like, share with those who might care, subscribe, and leave any comments or questions, and we'll try to get them answered for you as we're just seeking the truth. Much love. Peace out.